In this video, I will be ranking every SkyWars map to determine which map is the best and which map is the worst. Why? Because I have a Hive SkyWars obsession, of course. I just want to say that these are my opinions, you don't have to 100% agree with me. Anyways, let's begin. Now, finding a worse map is hard because there isn't really a bad solos map, but I think that balance is the worst map. Now, your starting island is fine, got chests out here and a little inside. The semi-mids are also fine, but then there's the mid. Now, mid looks absolutely beautiful, but the fights here are incredibly awkward. All of the fights will feel like you're closed in because of the hilly terrain, and fighting on the outskirts of the map is fine, but there's barely any spaces where you can properly have fights on. At least the ender chest locations aren't super predictable and easy spots. Also, can we talk about how it's absolutely impossible to clutch on this map? Number 9 is Violet Keep. Violet Keep is a map I like to call a small map. A map that is extremely easy to get Nemo'd or Void on. There are two other small solos maps that I'll talk about soon, but this one's my least favorite. Why? The semi-mids are way too small that you can't even consider them a semi-mid. If you're on a corner island on this map, well, good luck getting to middle, especially if you're on mobile. Number 8 is Pillars. Now, your starting island is actually pretty nice. You can loot quickly and it's clear and open. And then there's semi-mid, which kind of looks like a dog bone if I'm being honest, but I can't unsee that now, so if you thought balance was hard to clutch on, then say hello to this. Like, what is this? This is literally like worse than Ruby. The main reason why I dislike this map is the size. The semi-mids are too small to have good fights on, and if you have a snowball or a Nemo, you've won the game. I actually like mid because it's open, but this is the smallest map in the game, even smaller than Violet Keep. Number 7 is Woodpine. This map is okay, it's not awful or anything, it's just a normal SkyWars map. This map, however, could be a little bit more unique. Remember the two small maps from earlier? Well, we looked at Pillars already, so that remains the other map, Wildwood, which is the best one. Now, your starting island is awesome, but you'll realize the problem with this map quickly. The semi-mids are a great place to fight on. Wait, did I say semi-mids? I meant these semi-mids because there's another one. There's these ones too, and I don't like these ones because it's a tower thing on such a tiny island, and this gives people who are on a corner island a huge disadvantage to the people that aren't and can bridge to mid quicker. It is also incredibly easy to clutch on this map, and this is why I like it. Number 5 is Monastery. Now, your starting island is good, and for the semi-mids you got a decent amount of space to fight, but my problem with this map is the middle. Similar to Balance, the middle seems very closed in, and there's barely any ores because of the structure at mid. Number 4 is Village. Now, if you saw my last video, I said that Village was one of my favorite maps, but it's not as good as I said it was, but it's still a good map. You got a nice starting island, and mid has loads of space to fight, but something I especially like with it is the semi-mids. The semi-mids are in between the middle and corner islands, so it's not unfair to the corner island person, and this is something I like because it's very fair. Number 3 is Ivory. I feel like this is a lot of people's favorite maps, and while it is good, it's not perfect. You got a nice starting island, but I feel like there should be a tree to get blocks because most people don't know that these logs exist. Then there's these semi-mids, which seems too good to be true, but you can literally run forever and either die to someone else or void, and I dislike that. And then there's middle, which feels closed in, but it's not bad. Number 2 is Volcano. Now, your starting island has a lot of ores, which is nice, and the semi-mids have that same center feeling that Village has. What's that? Did you fail your icy bridge again, emo? Well, this is the best map to clutch on in all of Hive. Wildwood can't even compare with this. Oh, and frickin' Ruby. Mid is also pretty cool, but the ender chest locations are very spread out. And finally, number 1 is Baroque. Now, why is Baroque my favorite solos map? Well, first, just look at this map. This map isn't even comparable to Village or even Volcano. Your starting island is amazing, the semi-mids are too, and middle is very large or heavy, and this part of middle in particular is the best. You can have so many amazing fights here, like these. So what is my least favorite duos map? Well, number 9 is Utopia. This map sucks. You know, I actually kind of like Galactic. It's very orange, it kind of looks like an orange. Okay, well why is Utopia my least favorite map? Well, your starting island is so small considering this is a duos map. The semi-mids are very small and awkward to fight on, and mid is the weirdest part of this map. Mid has two parts, the top part with all the ender chests and the bottom part with regular chests and kill leader. Okay, so why are the ender chests all on the top part? Middle is also very hilly, which makes fighting on it awkward. Not only do I think this is the worst duos map, I think this might just be the worst SkyWars map on all of Hive. I don't enjoy playing on this map. Number 8 is Galactic. Your starting island is fine, and so is middle, but what is this? These semi-mids are, well, interesting. But it makes bridging to mid long and very awkward. Number 7 is Stranded. Your starting island is great and middle looks nice, but the chest locations are in weird spots. And so is the mystery chest, but it's not bad. I just get confused where everything is. Number 6 is Calor. Now this map is unique because it's the only SkyWars map without a void. Technically. Now is this a good thing? I don't know. With Chemical Plant and Planet Wisp, those maps were laggier not only because of the custom Sonic blocks, but because they had no void. So this map might be laggier than your normal SkyWars map. Also, mid is odd. The structure at mid covers the entire island, and it's odd. Number 5 is Dynasty. Okay, why is this a duos map? This map is roughly the same size as Violet Keep, and if Hive moves your team islands back a few blocks, remove these useless islands and add a starting island here, this map would be a pretty decent solos map. Number 4 is Ruby. Your starting island is about a normal size for a duos map, and then there's the semi-mids and mid. Don't get me wrong, semi-mid and mid is great for having fights, but why are they so big? This map is almost as big as a Megas map because of the semi-mid and middle. This map is also impossible to clutch on despite its size. Number 3 is Capacity. This map and a map I'll talk about later in this video have a key aspect that I love. Number 2 is Anora. Your starting island is large and has a lot of ores, which is good, and the semi-mids has this ring thing, which means people can travel easier, but people can also run forever, but it's not as bad compared to Ivory, for some reason. Then there's mid, which has this cool building with a second floor, and you can have fights here, I guess. A small thing I don't like with this map is the ender chest locations are very spread out, and okay, why are they like on this building and also here and next to this rock? It's honestly confusing, but overall a good map. And finally, number 1 is Meadow. Remember when I was talking about the key aspect that Capacity and the map I'll talk about later has? Well, this is that map. So what is this key aspect that I love? Well, this is your ordinary SkyWars Duos map. You have mid, semi-mid islands around middle, and your starting island around it. But Meadow and Capacity have middle, one semi-mid with 3 islands around it on the left side and the right side. I love this because it's unique and different. But why isn't both of the maps tied? Well, Meadow's just a little bit better. Your starting island is amazing, it's a good map for trapping, it has a lot of ores. Semi-mids are good too, and middle's just good to have fights on. And lastly, what is my least favorite trio/squads map? Bazaar. Your starting island is weird. I can't really describe how it's weird, but it's just weird. And then you have these islands which serve no purpose. This map also has no semi-mid for some reason, and mid is fine, you can have good fights here, but this map is just weird. Don't get me wrong, it looks amazing, but for actual gameplay, well, it's just bad. Alpine. Similar to Bazaar, the starting island is just weird and I don't know how to describe it. There's like 5 different things, and then there's semi-mid, which is quite literally the tiniest semi-mid in all of Hive. And then there's middle, which honestly is the best part about this map. Oh boy. Flower pots. Honestly, this map is forgettable. There's nothing wrong with this map, there just needs to be something else on this map. Number 7 is Temple. I actually like this map, but there's a small problem. Now your starting island and middle is fine, but the semi-mids are so tiny. Like literally just look at this. This is like what, 5 by 5 or something? Number 6 is Harvest. Harvest is basically the fall and winter version of Beyond, and to be completely honest, Harvest is way better than Beyond. Harvest's ender chest locations are so close to each other, it's amazing, and the fact that this is a squads map, so there are 6 ender chests instead of 4 is even better. Beyond though is depressing and the ender chest locations are across middle. Number 5 is Sunset City. This map has lime, concrete, powder, grass, and bench, so this is why I like this map. Number 4 is Spellbrook. Your starting island has a well that goes down and there's a chest, and that's something I like. The semi-mids are fine and middle's pretty cool. There's this little underground area at mid with 2 ender chests, and I kinda like that. Also, this is literally the most voted Hive map, I swear. Number 3 is Campsite. Your starting island is amazing, just look at it. And then there's semi-mids in middle, which have loads of ores and space to fight on. Number 2 is Armada. This map has loot boxes. Best map ever. So this is the pirate map, and your starting island is awesome for trapping, your semi-mids is fine, and middle is amazing. Honestly, a really good map. And finally, number 1 should be obvious, Castle. Your starting island is good for traps because it has many things like snow, unlike other maps. And then there's semi-mids, which are good for fighting, and middle is the best. You'll have so many amazing fights here, and the ender chest locations are fair, middle has loads of ores, and this map is one of the best maps to clutch on. Now that you've seen all of the SkyWars maps, click this video to see traps on some of your favorite SkyWars maps.